Dr. Gene Bruno here, the vitamin professor at Natural Products Expo West. And over the next few days, we're going to talk to some interesting people. I am here with the illustrious Neil Levine from Now Foods. He's the Senior Education Director. He's been with Now Foods a long time. I've seen Neil speak at just a number of different places over the years. He's always been really, really informative, so I'm glad to have him on my podcast. Thanks for being with me, Neil.
Glad to be with you again. Always happy to see you. We've known each other a long time.
Long time. So, Neil, you've been to many of these shows, more than you can probably count. So now that you're here today, the day before, what do you think? What do you see that is sort of hot and trending?
Well, I think protein is very hot right now.
Yeah.
Creatine is very hot right now.
Yes, I've seen both of those, and others have said the same, yeah.
Yeah, and also things having to do with anti-aging, cognitive health are important.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. A lot of consistency among the people I've been interviewing. Those are certainly some of them there. But now, let me ask you that same thing for Now Foods. What's hot and trending here?
We're looking at mood support, stress support, which helps with cognitive and aging.
Yes, it does.
Certainly antioxidants are important. We've got certainly looking at forms of GABA, ashwagandha,
Yeah.
magnesium, hot.
Yeah. So do you have are there any specific product formulations you want to call out that you think are particularly interesting and worth and noteworthy in those categories?
Well, we've just come out with the Pharma GABA and the KSM 66 ashwagandha.
Oh, what a great combination.
The trademark ingredients.
Yes.
We've come out with a chewable vitamin D3 with MK7, vitamin K2, and we're using the chickpea fermentation form of vitamin K2, not the soybeans, to allow for people with food allergies.
That's very smart. Yeah.
And one of my formulas just came out. It's called Zinc Transporters. It's a companion to our very popular magnesium transporters. And in this one, I've combined 4 different chelated forms of zinc in equal amounts, totaling 22 milligrams of elemental zinc in one small tablet.
Nice.
And the 22 milligrams is designed to be able to be sold worldwide. All 4 of these forms are approved all over the world. That includes the OptiZinc, the zinc glycinate, the zinc gluconate, the zinc picolinate.
That's fantastic. You obviously did your homework first, made sure that it ticked off all the regulatory boxes there. So that's awesome.
Yeah, not only the forms, but the dose, because in Europe they limit zinc elemental levels to 25 milligrams per dose. The RDA is 11 milligrams, so I doubled the RDA to 22. And then even with minor overages, it's going to be within that 25 milligram limit.
Comfortably within that.
We could sell it worldwide.
Very smart. Oh, Neil, man, buddy, thank you so much for joining me today. And hopefully we'll have a chance to do this again soon.
Glad to be with you, and always glad to have products that help people empower their personal health.
Absolutely. All right, have a good one.
You too.
So I am here with Gina Stevenson. She is the co-founder and CEO of Biologen. And Gina, thank you for joining me for this little mini podcast.
Well, thanks for having me.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the question I've been asking others. Since you've been here at Natural Products Expo West, what have you seen that you think is, hot or trending?
I think the discussion of fiber is really big right now.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I think protein is definitely having its moment. But I think that when they're talking about the average American diet not getting enough fiber, especially those on GLP-1s, I think you're going to see fiber everywhere. I think you're going to see it in all sorts of different types of products that we weren't even expecting.
Yeah, Uh, it's interesting. I've seen so many booths with fiber, and a lot going on with fiber, and so yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right on the money there. So, as long as we're talking about trends, what is hot and trending at Biologent?
Hot trending at Biologent. For Biologent, it's always our black seed oil. It is our hero product. It is the product that science has come out really showing like maybe a slightly increased dose from what we used to recommend, and so we've now re-upped all of our products now are now up to this new recommended dose based on clinical studies. I also think hot and trending for us is all of our C of A's and our third-party testing are all now on our website, and I think customers are wanting this.
That's
and they're
pretty cool.
asking for it, and so it's been a fun process these past probably a few months.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not a common thing to do, but it shows a great deal of credibility. And I just want to comment on the black seed. I love black seed oil. I actually have written, I think, 3 different articles about it for Vitamin Retail magazine.
Really?
And also, I've done at least one podcast on that as well. So very cool. I'm glad to see that's something that is trending for you.
Well, and talk about a traditional use. I mean, it was found in King Tut's tomb. I mean, get really into the history of it. It has a crazy history.
Well, it's interesting. I really didn't get too much into the history. I got more into the science and the research. I got a little bit into the history, but that's something you and I are going to have to talk about sometime, and so I can learn a little more about the history.
Yeah, we'd love it.
All right. Thanks so much, Gina.
Thanks for having me.
So we are here today with Matt Bem of Reservage. I know Matt pretty well because I used to work with Matt and still do some work with him even now. So thanks for joining me, Matt.
Awesome. It's good to see you again, Gene. I miss you.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm just glad to see you here. It's always great to get to Expo and see some of my old friends.
Gene gives great hugs, by the way, in case you haven't gotten one.
I do. It's true. So I wanted to ask you, since you've been here at Expo West, what would you say your impressions would be on what's sort of hot and trending?
I'm seeing a lot of themes of longevity, women's health, and then a big ingredient this year is, creatine. As we know, we've seen a lot of good data come out on that. So
Absolutely.
Those 3 have been probably the most popular things that I've seen so far.
Yeah. Okay, great. And then with regard to Reservage, what would you say is hot and trending there?
Definitely. So, Reservage, just for those of you who are not familiar with it, it's a women's health and wellness company. We've got categories that we cover are resveratrol, collagen, and keratin. And, resveratrol has long-standing been our most popular category. We recently came out with a product that's NAD Resveratrol Plus. So we're really excited to get that on the market. This launch.
Hey, I know that one. I know.
Sorry. Yes, you do.
I know that one because guys out there, I actually formulated this one for Matt at Reservage. So yeah, continue, Matt.
It's great working with you because you provide so much guidance with your long history of ingredients and helping us with understanding claims and how it works in the body. So it's always a pleasure working with you on this. So we're really excited about this. We launched this towards the end of last year, so it's only been around maybe 4 months or so, and sales have been incredible. We're really excited about it. As you know, NAD is very popular paired with resveratrol, so it's been great so far. Do you want to dive into the benefits, or?
Yeah, why don't you talk a little bit about, let's say, the form of resveratrol that's unique.
Absolutely. So I'll start off by it's one nice thing is it's just 1 capsule per serving. So we're excited about that. Easy to take, easy to swallow. In addition to that, as far as benefits, you're getting the equivalency of 1,000 milligrams of resveratrol. What's unique about this product is we're using a new ingredient where it's 43 more times bioavailable. So much smaller amount of ingredients that are providing much more impact.
That's right, and that's really important because resveratrol, so many of the studies are done using very large amounts, and to be able to get the equivalent of that, but in a much smaller dose, is pretty cool. So that's why we use that form in there. And then also something I think that's worth mentioning, Matt, you talked about NAD, and pretty much everybody knows how important NAD is in terms of the whole longevity thing. And mostly out there, you're seeing a lot of NMN and NR, and both are really great for increasing levels of NAD. But what a lot of people don't realize is that niacinamide is also good, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're providing 200 milligrams of niacinamide, and I think as you mentioned earlier, as we were talking about this product, how active that gets in the body quite immediately, along with the resveratrol.
Yeah, it's actually 200 milligrams, which is the clinical dose, was shown in research to increase NAD levels 30-fold in 30 minutes. How cool is that, right?
Absolutely.
And so you're saving some money by using a well-researched, dependable ingredient that's been around a long time, combining it with a nice, sexy form of resveratrol, and getting all the benefits of both together. So yeah, no, I can see why this is a trending product. I'm glad that it's been successful for you. And Matt, man, thanks for
Don't forget where you
joining
can
me.
get it at Vitamin Shop or Amazon.
Cool.
Thanks, you, Gene.
Thanks, Matt. I am here today with Todd Runstad, the incomparable he's the Chief Storytelling Officer of Next USA. So, Todd,
Gene,
tell me, since you have been here at Natural Products Expo West, what have you seen that you think is kind of hot or trending?
it's definitely women, and I'm talking from a supplemental standpoint, Gene. The hot crazy booth of the show, there's always one.
Yes.
And that is
I know which one you're talking about. Yes.
They've got the I think we can call them vaginas.
It is. It's a very large, pink one. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, large, pink, larger than life even. King Kong
That's right.
would find himself right at home there. And really they're the tip of the spear, but there's lots of women's supplements out here for very different aspects of it. Everything from physical health to cognitive health to hormonal health. So that's really cool to see. We know that creatine has doubled in the past year,
Right.
and that's because of the women, the female market.
That's right. And people don't always realize that there's actually really good studies done on creatine for women. So yeah.
That's right. Yeah, of by and for women. As you know, research has long been sort of the purview of by and for men.
That's true.
And finally, women are just like, we want stuff of our own. We're starting to see supplement companies started and led by women, and they're like, we're developing supplements that are for us. We know what's going on.
As well it should be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a trend I see a lot. For sure.
Cool. Well then, along those same lines, what is hot and trending at Next USA?
Well, as fate would have it, Zea modern shatavari.
Yeah.
This is a hormonal adaptogen. We've done human clinical studies on our patented form. It's different from commodity. Commodity shatavari is about 5% shatavarins. So that's the phytochemical bioactive, and we standardize ours to 15%, which means in our human clinicals we use 50 or 100 milligrams. Commodity is 500.
Nice. That's cool.
So for formulators, it's very cool because you can put it in gummies, you can put it in sophisticated formulations and stuff a lot more things into the capsule.
It's always nice when you can take an ingredient like that and have it available in a smaller dose that's clinically effective. So excellent. Good for you guys.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And I just came back Friday from spending about 11 days in India, where we were mapping out and documenting the supply chain. So our partner over there, Lila Nutra, they have relationships with farms, fields, forests, and we were all over India and seeing it planted, seeing it tended to, seeing it harvested, brought all the way into the facility, the whole shooting match. They even have relationships with hospitals and clinics over there, so they conduct human clinical research on it. And so it's like a super vertically integrated company when you count also the research that's in there. So we love working with them because we like to have clinically validated doses of efficacious ingredients. So our Zea modern shatavari fits the bill there. And really only in the last year have we seen suppliers coming on board with it. And so we're one of them, and we differentiate ourselves with the 15% material. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Todd.
Let me just.
No, go ahead.
Hormonal balance is really the thing, and I hate to mansplain women's issues, but it's all about the hormones. Everything from your PMS through your reproductive health and through your last period, how you fare through that to a large degree is based on your hormonal fluctuations and your balance. So when you have something like a shatavari in there to kind of put you on a more even keel, that will make women confident and feel better about just moving through life, on solid ground. So that's solider ground. So it's good stuff. It's a good time to be a woman because supplement companies, ingredient suppliers are really developing solutions for them at all stages of their life. So go girls, girls kick ass, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Todd.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yep. Thanks, Gene.
So I am here with my good friend, Dr. Jeffrey Burke of Kokora. He is the Director of Education. And Jeff, I wanted to ask you, here at Natural Products Expo West, what have you seen that is hot or trending?
Well, you know, I think protein has been hot for a long time, but we're starting to see a lot of the clear proteins come to market.
Yeah.
And of course, collagen is making another resurgence. And I think also what we're starting to see is regenerative. You know, we were around, Gene, you
You're
and
right.
I, at the very beginning of organic.
Yes, we
and
were.
Now regenerative is kind of picking up the slack for all the things that we forgot to do along the way with organic. So I'm seeing a lot more companies that are starting to tiptoe into the regenerative field.
You're right. I have seen a lot of that. If you looked at the new product section, there was a lot of people doing regenerative.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay. So that being the case, let me ask you, with Kokora, there always seems to be something going on. What is hot and trending at Kokora?
Well, Kokora is a brand new regenerative company. We grow our herbs in Costa Rica. It is held and founded by Rick Scalzo, who has done amazing work in this industry for over 40 years. And by growing our own, we have a complete chain of command of the regenerative herbs. And when you're doing regenerative, you're building the soil, not just taking care of the quality of the plants. You're still following organic growing standards, but you're actually taking care of the soil. You're building the microbiome. You're building the health and the nutrition of the soil, which gives you healthier crops and a lot better, you know, whether it's the plant itself or the roots, whatever we're growing, whether it be ashwagandha or mucuna or turmeric, or passion flower, we're growing healthy, clean products. And one thing we do at Kokora is we use glass bottles, we use vegan capsules, and we have absolutely no chemicals, no magnesium stearate, no carrageenan, no chemicals of any kind, because we just decided that we don't need them. So let's not use them. Let's keep it clean and keep it transparent.
Well, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Have a great show.
Thank you very much.
I am here with Emily Harris. She is the Associate Director of Marketing at Gnosis. And so, Emily, my questions to you are the same two I'm asking everyone. The first one is, what have you seen here at Natural Products Expo West that you think is hot and trending?
I think more than some previous years, I've seen longevity focused on quite a bit at several of the booths. I think that just goes to show the consumer movement from focusing on lifespan to health span. People want to stay healthy and active for longer, and brands are responding. I've also seen a lot of women's health, and that continues to be a really hot trend as well.
Yeah, that I've seen both of those things consistently myself. That's
right.
So tell me, here at Gnosis, what would you say is hot and trending?
Well, of course, women's health. We have several solutions that support women throughout their whole life journey. And I think what's important to note about that is it goes beyond just focusing on individual silos related to women's life stages and their hormonal cycles, and really focuses on foundational health and supports women throughout their entire life's journey, from younger years all the way through post-menopause. Our solutions work at a very foundational basis, and the support systems that women are really caring about. Women are looking for products that are tailored for them and speak to their needs that, again, go beyond just hormones. So we're talking about cardiovascular health, bone strength, mobility, and being able to stay active and exercise, as well as supporting those hormonal shifts as well.
Very good. Well, why don't you just toss out a name of a few of those ingredients that you're talking about?
Sure. So we have our mitochondro. That's the first non-animal derived chondroitin. We make that through fermentation, which is very exciting.
Nice.
We also have our MENA-Q7, which is our vitamin K2.
Yes.
It's the most clinically studied vitamin K2. Very important for bone health and cardiovascular health as well. And especially important for women is our Quattroflora. That's a probiotic yeast that supports vaginal health and the female microbiome. And The most important thing there, or interesting thing to note, is that it doesn't interact with antibiotics. So whereas other probiotics will, this probiotic yeast doesn't. So it remains active even during antibiotic use as well. Yeah, and all are clinically studied and effective solutions.
That is pretty awesome. Well, thank you so much, Emily. I really appreciate your time.
Of course, thank you.
So I'm here with Glenn McCachran from Life Extension. He is the Vice President of Product Development. I happen to have known Glenn for many years. We've worked together at other companies. So Glenn, same question for you as I'm asking others. Here at Natural Products Expo West, what have you seen that you think is hot and trending?
Yeah, great question. I think, we have the opportunity really to sit down with a lot of vendors over the last 2 days, and that GLP-1 and linking GLP-1 to some ingredient and to help with the symptoms associated, some of the side effects associated with GLP-1 seems to really the hot thing. Unfortunately, there's still a lack of data to really show that these things can really be impactful and make a difference for those consumers.
Precisely. Okay, that's a good answer. Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of signage and a lot of activity about GLP-1. So very good on that. So, and what about at Life Extension? What is hot and trending at Life Extension?
Yeah. So as our name implies, we're all about longevity, about healthy aging, healthy lifespan, and so it's great to see that category is kind of coming to a fruition and really blossoming. So we are constantly looking for the latest cutting edge things that can address really the healthy age, the health markers of healthy aging, and can we really make an impact long term for our customers?
Cool. Do you have any newer products or existing products that are just really going gangbusters for you in that category?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the staple has been NR. NR, we're one of the few people that has allowed to do Niagen, and that continues to be a plus for us and growing. But items like quercetin and fisetin and apigen, without a lot of promotion, continue to be really robust and really going. And we put them in a special formulation so we get better bioavailability of those polyphenols. So that's been a plus and really strong growth.
Very cool. Well, thanks, Glenn. I appreciate your taking the time to meet with me.
Thank you very much. Nice seeing you again.
So I'm here today with John Quilter, the CEO of Sanru. And, John, I'm going to ask you the same questions I've been asking others, which, here's the first one. What have you seen here at Natural Products Expo West that is hot and trending?
Well, Dr. Jean, it's great to meet you and very much appreciate you stopping by the Sanru booth today. Yes, some of the areas that I'm seeing trending and talking to industry friends and colleagues and the industry in general is the whole topic of liquid format supplements. Definitely seeing a growth of that and an inquiry on that, particularly around the shots, the gels, and I guess it's the next evolution on from gummies. Traditional formats are relatively flat, but this whole area of liquid supplements is a fast-growing area. Obviously, look, women's health is there, been trending very strong in recent years and continues to trend strongly. And I think this broader area around women's health, of not just perimenopause, menopause, hormonal balance now is starting to come to the fore a bit. Mood, stress, maintaining weight as you are, managing your weight as you go through menopause, etc. So there's some of the key trends, and then I'm seeing a circle come back around again around men's health. Women's health has been to before in recent years, but topics in men's health such as hair loss, hair maintenance, particularly with younger generation consumers, seeing that as an interesting trend. Also, I think in recent years you would have seen big growth in some areas like ashwagandha. We're now seeing ingredients, I've observed ingredients like shitfari seem to be growing quite rapidly. So, lots of exciting things going on in the industry as always.
Well, very good. And so amongst the Sanru company itself, what are some of the hot or trending areas?
Absolutely. So one of the key topics trending for us very much links to the liquid supplement delivery format. That is the topic of liposomes, so liquid delivery systems that ultimately have greater bioavailability, they're absorbed in the gut. We've seen, because we're truly a global business, we've seen this trend exert itself in areas like Australia, where liposomal products are very much in the growth area. This now is starting the trend into the US, and we're getting a lot of inquiries in this.
What's really interesting about that, John, is there are you're kind of hitting on two things at once. You have the trending liquids, which of course, you know, the younger generation, Gen Z, they always want these alternative delivery forms, things that are beverage or food or otherwise. And of course, delivery systems, liposomal, is also something that's big. And to have them both together, that's pretty cool.
It's absolutely, and it's exciting. It's exciting, and I think some of the other areas that we see is, obviously, look, there has been the whole GLP-1 megatrend in recent years. We're kind of seeing a lean out from that around the whole topic of metabolic health, of managing my metabolic health, managing my metabolism. We have excitingly launched a technology called tryptophan, which is a fatty acid, and basically it acts as a natural suppressor of appetite. It comes from some of our Indian origins of Sanskrit, which means in Sanskrit, it means satiation or contentment. So we're very excited about that product. We've had a lot of inquiries from the industry on that one. Also, last year, leveraging our delivery system technology, we launched a more bioavailable berberine called BioBurb. A lot of traditional berberines are up at 2 grams dosage. This has, you know, a significantly less dosage, down at 300 odd milligrams. So that's very exciting.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. I wanted to mention, I read your tryptophan study. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we just launched, or sorry, we just published our latest study concerning tryptophan, showing the upregulation of beneficial bacteria, in particular Akkermansia, which is obviously becoming more known in the industry. So better microbiome integrity, so that's quite interesting. And then obviously leaning into the whole topic of health span. You know, there's big interest in this topic in the industry in terms of wanting to live longer. So traditional ingredients such as omega-3, curcumin, vitamin D3 and K2, a lot of inquiries, but getting these in a more bioavailable form. So that's been super exciting also. So great show, great to be here, and I very much appreciate you taking time with us, Dr. Gene.
And John, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I am here today with Randy Miles of Bluebonnet. And Randy, I'm going to ask you the question I've been asking a number of people. Since you've been here at Natural Products Expo West, and this is the last day, what insights can you give our listeners regarding what you think is kind of hot and trending here?
So what's trending definitely is going to be the lifestyle, longevity, and longevity because in the stacks. And so consumers and actually companies have gotten smart. They're kind of, yes, we have ingredient-based products, but what you're trying to look at is that the consumer is asking for stacks, sleep stacks, longevity stacks. So it's more come down to why am I taking something instead of what's in it. What's in it is important, definitely, but what they want is the narrative, the story of why I'm doing this for brain health, why I'm doing this for anti-aging, why I'm doing this for sleep. What are the 3 products, 4 products I'm taking for that? And that really is the trend that you're seeing. Companies are starting to follow that when they're releasing their new items. Also, you'll see like, okay, this is for NMN or NR. You'll see that, and that's for that anti-aging, cell regrowth, longevity.
But what else are you doing with that to make it a more comprehensive program?
Exactly right.
Nice.
So is brain health included in that? Is sleep included in that? Recovery, vanity, skin, hair, nails. So they're being more driven by what the consumer is looking for is a big picture instead of individual products.
Very cool. Well, you know, along those same lines, what is hot and trending here at Bluebonnet?
Glad you asked. Hydration really has been the newest thing. Now, it's not
so much interest in hydration.
It is.
Amazing interest in hydration out there.
So
right now.
It's a category that's been out for a minute. And unfortunately, the first thing that sometimes happens, someone will be like, oh, you guys came out with a hydration product. And I was like, yes, but let me sum this up for you. And this is important for your customer and your consumer too, because when you go into a category that's saturated with a lot of different versions, varieties, ratios, and that sort of thing, some people have high sodium, some have high potassium, all over the place. We took a different approach. We said, okay, what does the science say? So the science is that you lose certain minerals at a certain ratio. So what we did is we emulate that. So when you sweat out your minerals, we actually have that exact ratio to come back in.
That is good science, my friend.
So now you just got an entire category and you said, okay, when it sweats out, I get back in by taking this product. So we feel like it's a more responsible approach.
Yeah, you don't have to do mega doses of those things. You can use the correct amount. And if you look at the research that's out there, that's actually been published, it's very much in support of what your approach is.
Yeah.
So good for you guys.
Yeah, we're talking about electrolyte balance, not throwing things too high, too low. That's the whole purpose, electrolyte balance. Yeah.
Excellent. Man, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
This was great, and look forward to talking to you again.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
So I am here today with my very good friend, Yamit Sadak, who is the VP of Sales and Marketing for MD Science Labs, who has a few different brands. So Yamit,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you the same questions that I'm asking other people. The first is, here at Natural Products Expo West, what have you seen that is sort of hot and trending?
Well, a couple themes that continue to come up, and this has been, I feel like, a decade's worth of trends: women's health, women's wellness reimagined, and longevity. Longevity, when it comes to obviously lifespan, when it comes to muscle mass, when it comes to weight management, it's all about longevity. So I love to see women. Women's theme and trends around that right now.
Yeah, that I've seen many of the same things, so that's very cool. But Yamit, I have another important question for you.
Yeah.
What is hot and trending here at your company?
Awesome. Well, tying back to the women's health, women's wellness reimagined, we're actually coming out with 2 and 3 really exciting products.
Oh, tell me.
So a little bit about our balance, or her balance product. It's a perimenopausal product and postmenopausal for women who have night sweats. It's got a brand new ingredient called Estro G, and it's really good. You'll see results within about 7 days for night sweats, hot flashes, irritability, sleep. Women need to have a solution that's a natural
7
solution.
days is pretty good.
Absolutely. So that's that. We're also coming out with a product for intimacy and wellness and desire. Ashwagandha KSM is one of the major herbs and adaptogens that we have in here, but it's really great for mood, and again, it's all about intimacy and vibrance. So women, as you age, that obviously GLP-1, and as you age, you decrease your vitality and your intimacy and your desire. So this is a great product for that. And what I love about MD Science is we actually have a women's wellness reimagined. When you think about pairing that with lubrication, vaginal dryness, on the inside and on the outside with our supplement. So I love that kind of solution that we can offer as a brand.
That is pretty awesome. Yamit, my dear, thank you so much for being a guest on my Vitamin Professor podcast. And as always, it's wonderful to see you.
You as well. Thank you, Gene.
Take care.
Appreciate you.
So I am here today with Mark Wallen of BioCat. And Mark, thanks for joining me. I want to ask you the first question, which is, what have you seen here at Natural Products Expo West that you think is, hot and maybe trending?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Gene. We've been pretty pinned down here at the booth, but what I'm seeing, and it may not come as a surprise to many folks, is protein continues to be,
yes.
Yeah, right. So protein, and a lot of the companies are looking at the arms race of just raising the stakes of 25 to 30 to 35 to 40 grams of protein. That's not longer providing a benefit in terms of the brand showing a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
So we're seeing protein's important, but having to package protein and present it differently to the consumers is an area, including bioavailability. Along with protein is anything that is part of the brain-gut axis, if it's immune, sleep, mood. A lot of this is driven by a lot of the probiotic innovation, probiotic clinicals that support this.
It certainly is a big area.
It is, yeah. And we're super focused on that at BioCat Microbials. And so we like that space a lot, and that's consistent with what we're seeing. Fiber as well. Not just fiber maxing, but fiber is prebiotics.
Absolutely.
That obviously is the food for probiotics. So prebiotics, probiotics continue to be a real opportunity for product developers, innovation managers to really find new growth for their platforms.
Yeah. No, I've a lot of people are seeing some of those same things that you're seeing. So in that regard, let me ask you, what is hot and trending at BioCat?
Sure. So to go back to protein as one of the major plays, we look at protein, and the reason why we're so interested in protein is to be able to unlock the amino acids, more specifically the essential and branched amino acids.
Sure.
And as we enter the 4th decade of life, that's not easy for us. We no longer produce the endogenous enzymes that break down protein. So consuming more protein is not the solution. Going from 30 to 40 grams, you couldn't digest the 30.
Right.
Taking 40 or 45 is not the solution for maintaining lean muscle mass or building muscle. So we've developed products, we've clinically studied them, published, and taking very specific, very specialized combinations of enzymes that can release significantly more amino acids from the protein. Essentially not only making it easier to digest, but just making the performance perform better. And so there's a lot of pickup on that for brands that are looking to differentiate, not on grams of protein in arms race, but my protein is higher performance because of its amino acid profile.
That makes a great deal of sense. You put your finger on it when you said, as we age, we produce less enzymes. That's actually been documented in the medical literature. You can see that. And so I think the approach that you're taking is innovative and makes a great deal of sense.
Yeah. And I think also, it applies also just enzymes. I think enzymes are having their day right now. From a food tolerance standpoint, increasingly consumers are finding out that they have an intolerance to gluten. They may not be celiac, but they realize they don't feel right after having gluten in their diet.
That's right.
Lactose, carbohydrate found in dairy, they don't feel right. And so enzymes and the solutions that we've formulated and provide to manufacturers or branded manufacturers as ingredients, they solve for that, clinically proven. And then on our probiotics side, we're vertically integrated. We produce our own probiotics out of Minnesota. They're bacillus, and bacillus secretes some pretty cool bioactives, antimicrobials, enzymes, vitamins.
Great delivery for them there.
And so not only digestive health, but some can even pick up a protein digestion claim. So between the probiotics side of the business, enzyme side of the business, that's what's happening at BioCat and BioCat Microbials.
Awesome. Well, listen, thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate your taking the time to meet with me.
Thank you.
I am here today with Dr. Morita, the CEO of Biobank, who produces the Dr. Ohhira's probiotic formula. It's very, very well known. So, Dr. Morita, tell me, what have you seen here at the show that you think is hot and or trending?
Well, for me, everything is very interesting. But as a manufacturer of pre, pro, and postbiotic, I would say we are intense attention. We are paying intense attention to the postbiotics ingredients, which are growing very rapidly in the United States market, I think.
Okay, very good. And then for your company here, what would you say is really hot and trending in your company?
Well, we, Essential Formulas and Biobank, have recently launched a new product, which is Dr. Ohhira's postbiotic fermented food concentrate.
Okay. And that's a postbiotic?
Postbiotic, well, basically postbiotic, focusing on postbiotics.
Okay. Can I ask you what kind of strains you have in there, postbiotic strains? I'm curious. I'm very interested in postbiotics.
Well, our product is fermented product, so it contains postbiotics, but it is more like metabolites.
Oh, okay.
By fermentation.
Okay, very good. Well, listen, I really appreciate your taking the time to meet with me today, and hopefully we'll have a chance to do this again sometime soon.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So I am here with my good friend and industry icon, Danielle Lind. And so I have the two questions for Danielle. And Danielle, those questions are, What have you seen at the show here that you think is trending? And what's trending with Danielle Lynn?
It sounds like a talk show here, or maybe it's a game show. Actually, hi, we're here and we're going to talk about the things that.
Well, you know, you are the queen of media in this industry, so yeah.
Iconic. I think
that's right.
Yes, iconic. We're sitting with two. No OGs here. Icon. No, listen. You know, we've been on the floor for 4 decades. And every time I come, I'm usually just a little bit ahead of the curve anyway, before it even happens on the floor. And you said to me,
right,
well, what do you think? And I said, well, you know, you go on the floor, you go to the new hall that is opening, it's the first day. Everyone is about 20, which is cool because it's the regeneration. You have to have a next generation, otherwise the industry doesn't happen, it doesn't continue. So the fact that there's a resurgence from the next generation, I think the most important thing that I saw was more of a repetition rather than a new distinction. And what we called it was organic. And it was the first movement, right? It was the first.
I remember that.
Yeah, we called it organic.
Yeah.
And everything, and that was before certification. Today, when you walk on the floor, it's regenerative. Everything is regenerative, which flies off of the word authentic.
Yes.
Like, how do you be authentic? Well, it's regenerative birth. So I think I wouldn't say it's a trend as much as I would say that it's a movement. I would say that the younger people that are coming into the industry are trying to find what's next and returning to organic. Like, it's a redundancy. It's just, you're not going to say organic because it's already been done. And the other thing that I'm always looking at is words. You know, I'm a word craft and I'm a listener. That's my gift. And I remember the first time you said the word autophagy. And I thought to myself, who knows autophagy? Who knows spermidine? Who even knows what we're talking about here? What does it even mean? And then I said it to my friend. I said, you know, yeah, it's all about Maricel's like autophagy. And she was like, oh yeah, I've heard of autophagy. I'm not sure she actually knew what she was talking about. But I do think that cellular health is going to play big. And I think the mitochondrial and the idea that you can restore and you have to restore and regenerate energy, not just the earth. It's the energy of the human body. And once you focus on that, we'll get back to the earth and the earth will feed us as human beings. So I think it's going to be a great show. I think the industry is exploding. I think the ingredient world may be topping, not even at the top, but at the beginning of the top. And we've got a great year. So, I mean, for you, what do you think? I'd love to hear one word from you.
Well, I will give my thoughts on this. I'm going to do that at the end of the show.
You tricked me. All right, so this is the upfront, and catch Jean on the back end.
That's it.
I'm Danielle Lynn.
Thank you, dear. So I am here with David Trosten, the Senior Director at NSF International. So David, thanks for being with me today. And I want to ask you, what have you seen at the show so far that you think is hot and trending?
So, if you've had your ears open at all lately, creatine, of course, seems to be the hot thing that's happening. It's gotten a lot of new attention, although it's been around for a long, long time.
Indeed,
we're excited about that because it's a heavily researched ingredient, and we think it's a good thing to have out there. So, seeing that come to the forefront, we're very happy about. Seeing a lot of information around GLP-1. And
not a surprise.
Not a surprise. It's very interesting because that can mean a lot of things. It could mean GLP-1 support for people who are taking GLP-1 and want to have gut health, or it could mean they are promoting an ingredient that they're making claims that it responds for weight loss like a GLP-1. So it's interesting to see what people are saying when they look at that. What are they claiming? Is it support or is it activation? The other thing we're seeing we're getting a lot of trend around is transparency, which is great. Quality, which is great because that's our mission, protecting human health. And so we're very excited about that, and we're very excited to be in that conversation.
Very good. Well, then let me ask you here at NSF, what do you think is hot and trending with this company?
I'm very excited to say that we've had a lot of growth over the last 3 years, and it's because brands are starting to realize the importance of not only having good quality systems in place, having high quality products, but enunciating to the marketplace that their products are good. And they're doing that through accredited certification with NSF. And we're seeing a lot of brands who perhaps weren't interested in this 3, 4, 5 years ago, all of a sudden coming on very strong. We've had some very big brands at this show saying, how fast can we get this done? And so the growth has been significant. It's been absolutely fantastic for us. We're thrilled about that. Not only for our business, because we like to grow, but just for what it does for industry, to differentiate the good players from those that maybe aren't here for the right reasons, and to see the good players gravitating toward certification means that trend toward quality and the trend toward speaking about their quality is there, and it seems to be accelerating, and we're very happy about that.
Well, I can tell you that from a few of the different companies I've been with over the years, NSF has been a major factor doing NSF GMP certification, as well as NSF Certified Sport is one of the things that I'm very familiar with and a big supporter of. So thank you so much for joining me today for this little mini podcast.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So now that I'm back from Expo West, I can tell you that as a result of my interviews, the sort of clear winner in trending is women's health, followed closely by longevity. Also, protein, creatine, and fiber were definitely trending ingredients as well. There were a few others, as you could see from watching this video. But thank you for joining us for this special edition of the Vitamin Professor podcast.